students, welcome to our science class. Our chapter name is Essentials for Life. This is one new chapter that you can see in your textbook page number 88. New chapter. In the last class we concluded our old chapter. So this is one simple chapter and we are discussing about some essential things in our life. What is the essential thing in our life? That means if it's not there, life is not possible. Such a case, what are the things? One we can say about air. Then water. And also the next one is food that we already studied in the old chapter and all. So within this chapter, the essentials of life, air and water. We are discussing about this. Within the name for the chapter, you can see essentials of life, air and water. So, where we can see this air? Do we are buying this air in a bottle and spreading all around? No. Within our surroundings, there is all we have air. When I am standing here, around me, what do I have? Air is there. So we can say air is all around. Air is all around. And we can say it is not possible to live without air. If there is no air, no life will exist. And within the air, what we are using? We are using oxygen. So, it is essential, this air is essential for life. That is, we know on our earth the life exists because of this air, oxygen. And within the other planets, why there is no life exists? Within our limit of knowledge, we are saying that there is no other life exists in another planets. The reason is this, there is lack of the air what is essential for our life. So we can say this air is essential for life. And the next thing is this, we cannot live without air. Same thing. We cannot live without air. Suppose there is having no food, we may live for some days and then we will die. And if there is no water, we may live for 1 or 2 days. But what about the air? If there is no air, it is not possible to stay for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, so not we will survive than that. So we can say this air is the very essential thing in our life. So just take your textbook and look, there you can see one activity, very simple activity, some pictures you can see on the page number 88, one yellow column, essentials of life. Here, just look that, here you can see some sort of pictures and the work is this, you want to identify for which needs water and which need air. That is the work. And what are the diagrams? The first diagram is one child swimming. Swimming. That is the first picture. That is within the work. One child is swimming. There, what is the need? Is it need water or air? The need water. This is what? Water. So, for that the child needs water. And the next example is this. One child is playing with one kite. Here what needs? Do the kite need water to fly? No, it needs air. It needs air. So for this it needs air. And picture is this. One child is there on boat. One child is there on boat. And so, do this child needs air to flow or no? For this child, it needs water. And the fourth picture is this. One child is standing with one balloon. And this child is giving what? Do this child is filling water in this balloon? No, this child is filling air. So for this case, it needs air. So that is the simple activity. Here, within some cases, they need air. Some cases, they need water. That means within our daily life, we are using this air and water for different purpose. That is the only thing that mentioned in that activity. Just observe that. And that's all. Now we are going to enter to our chapter. And the first thing we want to study is about the atmosphere. Atmosphere. Actually, we are using this atmosphere. The term in our daily life, we can say the atmosphere is present around us like we are using. Now the question is this, how we can define this atmosphere? What is this atmosphere? So, first we want to study the definition of this atmosphere. And where we can see this atmosphere that we are going to study. So, we can say this atmosphere is our earth is surrounded by a blanket of air called atmosphere. So this is the definition for atmosphere. We can say our earth is surrounded by a blanket of air called atmosphere. So simply we can say the blanket of air. That air is called what? Atmosphere. That is, suppose this is our earth. For the earth we can see they have blanket of air. That means a particular layer of air surrounded by our earth, and that is called what? Atmosphere. I think it's clear. So here you want to study the definition. Our earth is surrounded by a blanket of air called atmosphere. That means you can see around the earth there is having a blanket of air. Blanket of air means a thin layer of, not only thin, we can say it as thick also. So the thing is this. This is our earth. For the earth you can see a thick layer of air blanket is there, and that is what? Atmosphere. Very simple thing. So that's all about the definition of atmosphere. Now we are going to study the further things about the atmosphere and how much thick this atmosphere have. Is it 1 centimeter or 1 kilometer? What is the thickness of this atmosphere? I already said that for our earth it is having a thick layer of air. And I am asking what is the depth or what is the thickness for this atmosphere? Generally we can say this is having about 300 kilometer thickness for our atmosphere. Generally we can say about, I am not saying it is the proper value of 300 kilometer, about approximately it is having about 300 kilometer of atmosphere. And the thing is this, when we are moving from this point to far within the atmosphere, what happens to the air? Here also we have the atmosphere and all. And the thing is this is our Earth atmosphere or the surface. One person is standing here at the surface. So the thing is this, when we are moving from the surface of Earth to the top, the content of air is getting less. Content of air, that means the air is getting less. Air is less when we are moving from the surface to top of our blanket of air. That means the atmosphere. That's why the mountaineers are taking oxygen cylinders when they are climbing the mountains. Where these mountains? These mountains are having very height. That means here what happens? We are moving from the surface of Earth to top of our atmosphere. That means when the height increases, the content of air also gets less. When height increases, the air is getting less with the height. That's why mountaineers keep oxygen cylinders with them when they are climbing the mountains. Just remember that. And so, this is all our simple things about our atmosphere. So, we studied about the definition, that is a thick layer of air, or it is the blanket of air around our Earth. It is about 300 km above our Earth's surface. Then we can say when we are moving from the surface to top, the air content is getting less, and that's why the mountaineers and all keep oxygen cylinders when they are climbing the mountains. So this is all about atmosphere. Now we want to study the different layers of atmosphere. I already said that it is a thick layer. Within that is different. We said that when we are moving from the surface to top, the air content is getting different. And so we can classify this into different layers. Now our topic is this, layers of atmosphere. Layers of atmosphere. Now the question is this, how many layers are there? Is it only one layer? 2, 3? That we are going to study. So, this is our Earth. This is our Earth. And our Earth is having actually 5 layers. Not Earth. Our Earth's atmosphere have 5 layers. Our Earth atmosphere have 5 layers. First layer we are going to study, that is near our Earth. We are starting the layer from here. That means the layer near to our Earth's surface. And what is the name of this layer? We can say this is the first layer. First layer of our Earth atmosphere. And the name of this layer is this troposphere. Troposphere. Sphere. This is all sphere. We know. A ball is a sphere. That's main sphere you can see here. Troposphere. So, here the first layer is this troposphere. Just remember, on the top of our Earth, what is this? Troposphere. On the top, troposphere. That is the first layer. The next is this stratosphere. The second layer. So we are there on the second layer. That is what? Stratosphere. You can see all the sphere. So stratosphere is the second layer. Now the third layer is this the third layer, And the third layer is nothing but mesosphere. Mesosphere. We are not writing it split. Mesosphere. Mesosphere. That is the third layer. We want to study all this in detail. So this is our Earth. First layer is troposphere. Second layer is stratosphere. Third layer is mesosphere. Now we are going to study the name of the fourth layer. The fourth layer is this. Fourth layer. And the name of the fourth layer is thermosphere. 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 The fourth layer is thermosphere. And the last layer, fifth layer is this. That is the fifth layer, last layer is this exosphere. Exosphere. So these are the 5 layers of our Earth atmosphere. So we can write the names. Troposphere. Troposphere, the first one, troposphere. Second one is this stratosphere. Stratosphere, second one. And the third one is this mesosphere. Fourth one is thermosphere. And the last one, exosphere. And actually the order is important because the first layer, second layer, third layer, fourth layer, fifth layer, this is within the order. So you want to remember this order. First is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. For remembering that, you just remember this. T, S, M, T, E. This T is what? I already said. At the top of the Earth's surface, what is that? Troposphere. Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. So when you remember this code, it will be easy to remember the order of the layers. Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. That's all. So first you want to remember the names of these layers. I think it's clear for you. Now we are going to discuss this in detail. First one is what? Our troposphere. Troposphere. As its name, this is the first layer, or we can say lowest layer. Lowest layer or the first layer. And we can say here all the weather changes occurs with this first layer. We know the winter will come, summer, rainy season. Every such climate changes occurs with the first layer of our atmosphere. So weather changes occurs here. Weather changes occurs here. Weather changes occurs here. And the thing is this, from our Earth, this troposphere is about 12 kilometers from our Earth's surface. 12 kilometers. 12 kilometers from our Earth's surface is what? Troposphere. For the troposphere, you only want to remember this is the first layer, that means the lowest layer, and the weather changes occurs within this layer. And also we can say from the surface of Earth to 12 kilometers, we are calling that region troposphere. That's all. Now the second layer is this stratosphere. That is the second layer, stratosphere. stratosphere. For the stratosphere, actually we said this first layer is about 12 kilometer. We already mentioned. From this 12 kilometer to 50 kilometer, our second layer is there. From the 12 kilometer to 50 kilometer, we can see this stratosphere. 12 kilometer to 50 kilometer, we can see this stratosphere. And here the peculiarity is these clouds are very rare. Here the clouds are rare. Rare means clouds are less. And because of this reason, the jet planes and all flying through this region. Jet plane and all are flying through this stratosphere. That is this layer. And also one thing is that you want to remember for this stratosphere. Within this stratosphere, they have ozone gas. I think you are familiar with this ozone layer and all. What is the purpose of this ozone layer? This ozone layer protects us from some sort of UV radiations. That means the ultraviolet radiations that is coming from our sun. So the thing is this, only remember this ozone gas is present within our stratosphere. So what are the points we studied about stratosphere? This region starts from 12 kilometer to 50 kilometer. And the clouds are very rare. That means clouds are less. The jet planes and all are moving through this region, and also the present ozone gas. These are only the points for stratosphere. Now we are moving to the next layer, mesosphere. Mesosphere. What is the meaning of this term meso? Meso means middle. That is, this mesosphere is the middle layer. We know total 5 layers. For this 5, this third one is what? The middle layer. So we can say this mesosphere is the middle layer. And it is the third layer, middle layer. And here we can see some sort of small rocks are there present, and they are rotating, and within this region that rocks are getting burned. That means this is our second layer and this is our third layer. Within the third layer there occurs some sort of rocks and all rotating through here, and it is catching fire or that gets burned off, and because of that reason these rocks are not reaching on the surface of earth. Suppose these rocks will come, what happens? That will cause some sort of damages on our earth. So we can say this mesosphere occurs some sort of rocks and all, they are just burning out from this region itself. Just that sort of some sort of things that mentioned in your textbook, and you just want to remember from this 50 kilometer to 80 kilometer, that is what the region for mesosphere. From 50 kilometer to 80 kilometer is our mesosphere. So these are all about the mesosphere. So we can say this is the third layer, this is the middle layer. The term itself means middle layer. And also we can say the region is from 50 kilometer to 80 kilometer. Within this region some sort of rocks are present and they are rotating and they are burning from the mesosphere itself, and they are not reaching on the surface of earth because they are just burnt completely, just gone. So that's about mesosphere. Now we are going to discuss the fourth layer, and what's the name? The fourth layer is thermosphere. Thermosphere, that is the fourth layer. Fourth layer, and here you can see the space shuttles move within this layer. Space shuttles are moving through the thermosphere. This is our fourth layer. And here we know how we can get the TV signals or television signals, dish TV signals or radio signals. How it happens? It is actually some sort of signals are coming from the satellites and all. So that signals are actually depends on this thermosphere. Or we can say this thermosphere is transmitting such signals. Now just understand that, that's all. So we can say here the television and the radio program signals occurs. So this layer helps to transmit television and radio program signals. Only remember that. You will study in detail in your higher classes. So that's about the thermosphere. We can say this thermosphere is the fourth layer. There occurs space shuttles, and for the TV and the radio program signals occurs within this layer. And also remember the region. Here we can say from the 80 kilometer to 320 kilometer, we are calling it as thermosphere. From 80 kilometer to 320 kilometer, we can call it as thermosphere. These all are the points of thermosphere. And the last layer, that is our exosphere. The last layer. So, what we can say about this exosphere? This is the last layer or the outermost layer. Outermost layer. That means the fifth layer. Our outermost layer is what? Exosphere. Outermost layer. And here, actually, from this exosphere, our atmosphere is now converted to our space. Exosphere is converted. That means our atmosphere is now turns to space. So that is the next point. Earth atmosphere get the part of space. That means within the space have any air? No. Within our space no air is there. It is vacuum. And so we can say when we are moving from the surface of earth to the layers of our atmosphere, the content of air is getting less. That means for the exosphere, air is very little. Little air present. We can say little air present in the exosphere. Very little. Small air is present within the exosphere. And we can say beyond this 320 kilometer. Beyond this 320 kilometer, we can call it as exosphere. Beyond means greater than this 320 kilometer. It is what? Exosphere. And one thing is this. Our satellites. That means for identifying the weather, nowadays we can identify if there occurs flood. We get the signals from the satellites. Or for the communication signals. That means for the mobile we can talk from all the corners of earth. How? That is also possible with some sort of satellites. So these all type of satellites are orbiting. Orbiting means rotating through this exosphere. That means the satellites for weather, the satellites for communication, all these type of satellites are revolving, rotating, orbiting through this exosphere. Just remember that. So these all are about the layers of our atmosphere, Earth atmosphere. Here you want to remember first this diagram. That means the layers, orders. So remember the names, remember the order, and just remember 2-3 points about each layer. That's all. And also study the definition for atmosphere. Today this is all about our class, and the next class we can discuss about what are the purpose of atmosphere, importance of atmosphere, then what are the things included in air. All the things we can discuss in the next class. It's enough for today. You want to read your textbook 3-4 times and also complete your notebook.